category as beer and all the others. You know, it's very bad.
Yeah, definitely. So really important to avoid all those.
Yeah.
So what are some bad alcohol drinking habits that guys really have to cut out?
Happy hours is definitely one of them. You know, happy hour where they have drink specials and, you know, snack specials, things like that. Definitely avoid that, you know, because there's no reason why you're going to go to happy hour unless you're trying to go ahead and get as many drinks as you can and pay as least amount of money as you can. You see how that kind of goes together, right? It's kind of going to a buffet and thinking, I'm going to go ahead and you know, consume small portions. It doesn't really happen. But also, having just beer in your house as an alcohol beverage instead of having an alternative. You know, so this way you're setting up a structure to fail, because if you only have beer and that's the only alcohol you can drink, well, when it comes to wanting to drink, you know, you're just going to grab whatever you want or whatever you have, and if it's beer, well, then it's beer. And again, another one is just you know, stopping the problem where it starts. Just don't buy so much, you know, alcoholic drinks, you know, and especially the high calorie ones. Don't buy the margarita mix. Don't buy, you know, the White Russian mix, you know, and all that stuff. Because if you buy those, you're going to drink it. And if you have it now, you know, some of those mixes and things like that, I probably recommend, you know, putting them away. You know, this way you don't see it. It doesn't get you to want to drink them. I think another one is going to places where they only serve, you know, only serve beer, only serve, you know, these high calorie drinks. You know, if you're going to go to these social gatherings, at least have an alternative, you know, and, you know, instead of going there and getting stuck with only certain things and just telling yourself you have no choice but to drink the bad ones.
Yeah, definitely. And I know, you know, especially back when I was in college, I was in a fraternity, and, you know, like every party was like that, where, you know, there's a keg and that's your only choice because there's really nothing else. So, you know, kind of one strategy that I would use as I got a little smarter towards the end of college was that I would have lower calorie alcohol before I went out. So that way, you know, when I was there, I would only have to drink a beer or, you know, two at the worst, and it wasn't a disaster.
Yeah, exactly. I've done the same also.
Yeah. Okay, so, you know, obviously no alcohol is ever actually going to be good for you, but if a guy is going to drink, then what's some alcohol which is going to be the least damaging?
Well, believe it or not, you know, liquor is pretty much the best alternative, other than not drinking. So, because they're lower in calories. If you look at a shot of vodka, for example, they're probably in the range of about 60 calories versus the average beer in the range of about 100 or more. So, you know, just like what Dan said, you know, a lot of times when I go out for a social situation or some type of a social event and I know I'm going to be drinking, what I'll do is at home, you know, I'll probably have, you know, a bottle of vodka, and I'll go ahead and mix me up maybe like a vodka and tonic or a vodka on the rocks or a vodka and some type of no sugar based mixer. And I'll go ahead and pre-drink. So this way I can go ahead and have a little bit of alcohol in my system, because I know I'm going to be drinking anyways. But this way I'm feeling good, my calories are kept very low, and then when I do go to the gathering, I go to the event, you know, I don't have to go ahead and feel like I need to get hammered and be on everybody else's level and, you know, and put down, you know, 5-6 beers or, you know, or try to put down a whole bunch of sugary drinks. So it's kind of similar to facing social situations for eating healthy. You know, I eat a 0 willpower meal beforehand, so you want to do the same for here. You know, drink some of this stuff. Have a pre-drink beforehand and kind of set yourself up so this way you won't be tempted, you know, later on.
Yeah. And I think, you know, another effect of liquor beyond just a direct calorie comparison, because, you know, a shot of liquor will typically have about 60 calories, whereas an alcoholic drink, you know, beer around 110, as we said before, up to, you know, the bad things like a White Russian, which are around like 340. But beyond that effect, another effect of liquor is that because it doesn't have carbohydrates and sugar with it, you're going to get drunk a lot faster. Yeah. Now, assuming that you're reaching the same level of drunkenness, this is going to cause you to consume less alcohol to achieve the same effect. Assuming, again, that you're not just getting more drunk because you're drinking the liquor. So if you are getting to that same level of drunkenness, then, you know, obviously the calories directly are going to be better, and you should be consuming less alcohol to get the same effect.
I mean, yeah, and that's, you know, really the only reason why somebody would drink alcohol. You know, I mean, they're not drinking it for the taste of it. I mean, you know, most of it tastes like crap. You know, I mean, look at the faces that you make when you drink a shot. You don't smile, ooh, that's so good. You're like, you know, you're like trying to get rid of the taste with lemons and stuffing crap in your mouth. So you're only trying to get drunk.
Yeah.
So why do it in a high calorie way when the end result is just, you know, feeling buzzed and relaxing and having a good time? You know, you might as well do it in the most low calorie and the most healthiest way.
Yeah.
So
definitely. Okay, so what are some positive drinking habits that guys can develop to really minimize the damage from alcohol?
Well, you want to start off by not drinking as often. I would really recommend if you can drink less than one time per week, that'd probably be best. You know, and so this way you can lessen the chances of consuming so much liquid calories, especially in alcohol. But also another one is trying to avoid people that are always getting drunk, you know. Avoiding it. A lot of times it could be your friends, you know, that always calling you, hey, let's go out and get hammered, let's go out and drink. And you know, if you avoid hanging out with those people as often, you'll find that you're not going to put yourself in such a situation as often. And another one, I guess, is besides avoiding people, it's just avoiding situations to where, you know, you're always pressured to drink heavily. A lot of times, you know, when you're hanging out with certain people and stuff, and you know, it's all about, you know, drinking and who's drinking the most, and you know, it's all about the bar. And so, you know, if you know you're going to step into one of those situations, you may want to go ahead and make some new plans for that night.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say, you know, kind of a extreme example of this was the fraternity that I used to be in college, because, you know, first of all, there was parties going on like 3 nights a week at my house where there's only beer. There's kegs, so which encourages you to drink more beer. I can remember, you know, my roommate who lived in the room next to me would go through a case of 30 beers every single day. So, I mean, that really like screws with the reference frame, because I would drink, you know, 6 or 7 beers on a typical night, and I think I'm keeping it under control, when really, I mean, that's not keeping it under control, and it was just totally the wrong frame of reference to have. So, you know, if you can just avoid these social situations where you're pressured to drink, in the long term, it is going to affect you.
Yeah, happy hours. That's another one.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so many guys are going to these happy hours, and that's just almost, they always make it like part of their routine. And again, you know, you need to find a better alternative than just going to happy hour every day after work and just getting hammered, you know. I mean, you can find something else to do, you know, maybe every day after work. So, but again, yeah, just avoid these situations altogether. This way, you know, you won't be in them.
Yeah. Okay, so what are a few action steps that guys can take to start managing their liquids, their liquid calories, and their alcohol consumption better?
Well, basically, you can start off by, you know, avoiding these situations, you know, as soon as possible. You know, it's sometimes it may take a little bit of time, but make an attempt to do that. Look at the areas, look at the social events you're getting into, and try to make alternatives. You know, if you do have to drink, you know, go ahead and do the pre-drinking, drink the drinks that you know will be better for you. But also, if let's say you have a lot of drinks, you know, at home, and you know you're watching this video right now, then what you can take immediately, the action would be go downstairs or go to your kitchen and look for the drinks that are bad for you. Look for all the liquid calories that are bad, all the juices and all that stuff, and make it very inconvenient to drink those. What I recommend for a lot of people before was, you know, take the beers that you have in the fridge, take anything that doesn't have to be in the fridge, and put them in your pantry, and put them on the bottom in your pantry. So this way, you know, every time you look in the pantry and stuff, you're not gonna go into the bottom and want to go and drink a warm beer or, you know, or warm you know, Kool-Aid or something. So make it very inconvenient. And of course, best would just be to throw it away. But if you're like me, you feel like you're wasting, you know, beer. It's just one of those rules you grew up. You don't waste alcohol, right? So you know, put it away. You know, I know, of course, you know, whatever you have in your kitchen, you are going to eventually drink. But you know, you may run into an opportunity to where you may go to some gathering and they may ask you, hey, you know, can you bring some beer? Can you bring some alcohol? You know what? Good. It's perfect time.
Okay.
Grab your stash, bring it over there, and now you didn't throw away anything, so it works out. But I would say do that immediately, so this way you can start making that change.
Definitely. And I would say another thing, if you live in an area where you don't have any drinkable water, where your tap water is not drinkable, go out and buy plenty of drinkable water, bottled water, gallons of water, whatever. I have a friend who lives in an area where he can't drink the tap water because it's so bad, and he doesn't really have drinkable water around his house, so he has no choice but to drink liquid calories all day. Really avoid that. If you're in that situation, get lots of water you can drink.
Yeah, definitely. And also just go out and buy the alternatives. If you're not drinking a lot of water right now, you're not used to drinking water because you like to have taste. Drink the alternatives we talked about. The unsweetened teas, drink the Crystal Lights. I mean, Crystal Lights has a lot of flavor, and you can actually control, the amount of flavor you want. If you want to dilute it, just add more water. If you want to make it stronger, add more Crystal Light powder. Very low in calories and super low in sugar. So this way you can set up these alternatives, and again, structure your environment to succeed, and it goes the same for drinking liquid calories.
Definitely. And actually, one final one, which I'm probably going to absorb pretty soon, which I haven't done yet, is doing what you do and carrying around that gallon of water and just really incentivizing yourself to drink it more. This is something which I haven't done yet, but I think it's going to be something really good. Some of your other habits I've absorbed, like the zero willpower eating system, the workouts and everything. I think that's going to be my next one that I'm going to work on.
Yeah, and you can tell me it's like, with the handle, it's so easy. I mean, the mouth is so big. It's you couldn't sip just a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and you'll find that, we talk about how much water you need to drink, and 2/3 of a gallon. So when you look at it, it's very easy for me to measure the amount of water I need to drink, because a lot of times I just kind of look at my gallon. So it kind of lets you know where you're at throughout the day. So you don't have to do that if you don't want, but I found it to be very easy. And again, I always do things that are the most easy and the most simple way of doing it. So this way, I can actually do it. So if you feel the same, get yourself a gallon of water. It's like what, 50 cents, and you can refill it every time, so it works out good.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's it for liquids. Hopefully you learned a lot and you're going to implement all this stuff and really improve your diet.
And we'll see you in the next segment.